Hey, Family Twist listeners, we're taking a little trip back in time today with a bonus Lost episode featuring the incomparable Monica Hall. Now, if you're new here or you need a refresher, let me set the stage. Monica is a firecracker of a human being with a story that's equal parts jaw-dropping, heartfelt, and hilarious at times. She's a powerhouse who left corporate America in the mid-90s, got married, had a baby, and discovered her indigenous roots after reconnecting with her biological family. This newfound connection led her to herbology, and before long, she was crafting soap in her kitchen. Soap so tingly and fabulous, it became a hit in San Francisco's Castro district. Trust me, you'll never think of peppermint soap the same way again. But Monica's story isn't all laughs. It's also a deeply moving tale of resilience. She speaks candidly about the challenges of growing up adopted, surviving trauma, and grappling with her self-worth. She shares how relinquishing her firstborn as a teenager left scars that shaped her life, but also gave her the strength to keep going. And wow, does she ever keep going. From finding her indigenous heritage to creating a global soap empire and mentoring others through their own journeys of healing, Monica's life is a testament to survival and reinvention. She'll have you laughing one minute, probably at something wildly inappropriate, and tearing up the next as she reflects on the complex ties of family, identity, and self-discovery. Monica's story takes us deep into the complexities of healing from trauma and the strength it takes to confront the darkest parts of your past. And while Family Twist is all about the unexpected paths of family, Monica's journey shows us how those twists sometimes lead to profound revelations and some seriously powerful healing. So settle in and get ready to reconnect with Monica Hall, a woman who's not just survived but thrived, and who still keeps her heart wide open no matter what life throws her way. This bonus episode is also a little nod to our other podcast, Horror Heals. Monica's story edges into horror territory with tales of shadowy figures and haunted pasts that might just send a chill down your spine. But it's not about fear, it's about courage, reclaiming power, and finding light in the darkest corners of our lives. So whether you're here for the family drama, the spooky vibes, or just to hear Monica's razor-sharp wit, we're thrilled to have you join us. Alright, let's dive into that magic that is Monica one more time.
A preacher, a Baptist preacher, and Holy Roller Baptist preacher. And that's when I met my daughter, found my daughter, and I knew she's going to want to know who her father was. I find out from Levi decades later in 2016 when I want to get pictures of his father to throw darts at. And now I'm trying to heal the rape. I felt like it was my fault all these years. And it wasn't until I started writing that I had to work through that. He told me that his father terrified him because he was living in the bush, separated from his mother, and he hang out with his father on weekends or when he came into town, and he idolized his dad. His dad would get him high and tell him stories. And Levi, at 13, started having all kinds of scary things going on. The demon would bang around the inside of his bedroom at night on the walls. When he and his girlfriend spent the night when he was 13, it would pull both of them to the end of the bed by their feet. He woke up when he was like, I don't know, you little boy, and it was in his arms, cradling him, standing, hovering above his bed. And it's called the Dark Man. It has red eyes, the shadow figure. Many people call it different things. He said that when he asked his dad at 13 why this was happening, he said, when I was 19 and I slipped on heroin and I couldn't quit, I saw that thing and I told it could have the soul of my firstborn son for the power to quit heroin. And that's who raped me. That demon's who raped me.
Jesus.
That might be why I don't like horror stuff.
I get it.
Yeah, he was my best friend, Kelly, the girl I was friends with, her big brother's best friend. They were a crew of criminals. They carried guns and switchblades. He was a heroin addict, and I didn't know those guys were doing heroin. I was raped by him and then abducted. 72 and 73 were bad.
Yeah, and this is before The Exorcist came out.
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah, so Levi's got it's not my story to tell. It's in the book. My second book is the book I wanted to tell because Levi I don't know what it was, but every time I go back and forth to Alaska and I was writing, doing all this investigation and research and trying to heal all this, I would sit out front of that man's house. He lived in the worst corner. At one time, it was a body shop, probably about 3 acres in the worst part of town. He used to work on Corvettes and fancy cars back in the 70s. He also ran prostitution and other things. I was obsessed with confronting this guy. I found out who he was. It's just incredible. That whole journey's in my second book. And I talked to prostitutes and madame. I would go and I would sit out front of his house. Now, there's been 2 or 3 murders in front of his house. That's how bad it was. I'd sit out there and will him to come out just so I could say, hey, you gave me a ride home once. Do you remember? And he never came out. This last time I went up there to do a birth mother's writing retreat, I said, I'm not going to go. This is stupid. This is insane. Everybody thinks I'm crazy. Why do I care about confronting this motherfucker, right? And so I decided the last minute to go to this retreat. I was helping with a birth mother's writing workshop, and I called my son, who's now 30. He lives in Reno, and I said, "Hey, Quinn, I just made a decision to go to Alaska. I'm going to leave tomorrow and do a birth mother writing workshop." And he goes, "Use your spidey sense, Mom." And I'm like, what was that about? That's weird. Spider-Man, but spidey sense? No, I didn't think anything of it. Levi was on a documentary shoot. I always meet him for coffee or for lunch or breakfast. He finally contacted him a couple days before I was leaving, and we were going to get breakfast the next day. And I said, yeah. And he goes, let's do it. I'm like, what do you mean let's do it? Because let's do it. I'll wire you up. I still have all the equipment from the documentary shoot. So he wired me up. I had my crossbody handbag, this transistor thing. He taped it inside my purse. He had big headphones and a studio bag. You could go a mile away and still capture it. I went into this compound through locked gates, all these signs, do not enter, into these 3 acres that were all shrouded with trees, into this, and knocked on his door. And I got 50 minutes of recording. And that's the book I wanted to write. And what's crazy, when I left there, he did not admit to it. When I left there, I was elated. I held it down when I was with Levi, and I dropped him off. I went to a parking lot, jumped and screamed in the air because I had taken my power back from all the people that I'd given it to all those years. He was connected with a serial killer up there. If you want to watch a movie that's dark, it's called The Frozen Ground. Then it's Nicolas Cage, John Cusack, and 50 Cent are the stars. And it was filmed in Anchorage. And it was about the serial killer up there called Robert Baker, who John Cusack played. He was a baker, and he would get these prostitutes and torture them and then put them on his plane and hunt them. It's a real thing. There's all kinds of documentaries on it. The pimp in the movie was 50 Cent. He played the guy that abducted me. Oh. And how that all came about was because I wrote. So anyway, the second book's not going to read like this one, although there is some healing moments for sure, but it's my journey through the molestation and all the repressed memories and the metaphobia. It's going to be a different read. I probably should get a screenplay written, especially the 2 books. I mean, it's definitely a mini series or a movie potential. The story is pretty good. I mean, even just this story.
It's definitely a Netflix maxi series for sure.
Anybody, let me know.
Well, let's work on this together.
It's been good getting to know you. We didn't get to talk. I just got to compliment you on your outfit.
Thank you. I feel like it was kismet to help you set up so we could get this going, Monica. This has been fantastic.
It's pretty cool, huh? The connections.
I know.
I really like you. I think you're cool. I opened up to you in a different way than I do most people.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, that's where we come from. You know, this is our thing. And
yeah, you're far, far away. Let me see. I'm going to pull up my...
I'm starting to set up this thing where I'm taking not necessarily time off work, but 3 or 4 weeks working from a different place. And next year, I'm definitely going to go to the Bay Area and work for like a month. So we will have to get together.
Cara, who's that? She's coming and spending the night the end of the month or beginning of June. She comes right through Sacramento. So she's going to stay the night here. She's going to record me for her thing. Yeah, so I really like her. We connected at Cub where I met her. That would be a really good place for Kendall and Nuke to go. It's going to be on your side of the country. It's coming up in September. And Concern United Birth Parents. Okay, because there's adoptees that go, adoptive parents that go. It is so healing to go to that. He does.
I felt it so much just from being there and not being part of the community, just being an ally. So he needs it.
How old is he?
Oh, Kendall. Well, I mean, I won't put this on the podcast. Kendall's 54.
Well, I told you how old I am, so fuck off.
You look 45.
Oh, I don't think so. If I lose weight, I'll probably need a facelift.
And your glasses are amazing.
Aren't they cute? I have so many cute glasses. These are my Zoom glasses. So they actually are for the computer because I can see the computer.
You're adorable.
Oh, thank you. Why aren't I dating? Why?
Send me what you're into and I'll find you somebody up there.
So it's really nice. Good to meet you again. We'll have to stay connected. I work with a woman I go to, I don't know, years. She does this energy work that removes the layers on your heart. It's like going to therapy without having to talk therapy and go through your shit. It is amazing. I'd worked with another woman before her who had passed. I had sent friends there and, they had incredible experience, saw colors, just had these. And I asked her, I said, Karen, why don't I have those? She touched my shoulder and she goes, honey, it's because your pain is so deep. And, I have really deep pain and because I pushed it down so much. But this lady's done incredible. I told her about the emetophobia a few years ago, and this might be why it's pretty much gone. And she's done it with my daughter who has it too. So our amygdala sits somewhere above our ear. The amygdala is where there's a part of your brain that is either fuck it, fight it, kill it, or eat it. So that's the reptilian, I think. But then when something comes through, our amygdala doesn't send it to the logical part of the brain. There's something missing there. I did this exercise where I found the amygdala and I could feel just holding it down like a muscle when you use it. I haven't had a problem since. So her name is Kadia. She might do some stuff over Zoom. She did that with me, and that was incredible. She said she learned it from somebody. And yeah, I don't know. He's got a phobia like I do. I don't know if it's as bad as mine, but being in a plane with people vomiting and stuff, I'd be out of there. That sealed it. And he needs to have that freedom. Especially if you think he's got that story that he needs to tell. Because I got only as far as your meeting, and I didn't get to the part where he meets his family, but where he lost his parents and the aunt.
He has an incredible story.
Back to be... Anyway, well, it's been a while, but it was very good. Well, I hate to let you go. I mean, I really like you.
I'm sending all the love to you right now.
Give Kendall a hug for me.
Wow. Just wow. Monica Hall, ladies and gentlemen. Her story is one for the ages. Wow. Just wow. That's Monica Hall. Her story is one for the ages, a blend of heartbreak, resilience, and a bit of Monica's trademark sass. From the darkness of her past to reclaiming her power by confronting her demons, both literal and metaphorical, Monica reminds us why we do this podcast. Family is never simple, and the road to healing is rarely straight. It's a journey that takes bravery, reflection, and sometimes a little humor to get through. And as Monica's story highlights, the connections between our two podcasts, Family Twist and Horror Heals, are closer than we might think. Whether it's facing down a shadowy figure from your childhood or breaking cycles of trauma, the message is the same. Healing is possible, and sharing our stories is a step toward it. Monica, thank you for your openness and for giving us so much to talk about. And thank you, listeners, for taking this journey with us. The Family Twist podcast is presented by Savoir Faire Marketing Communications and produced by How the Cow Ate the Cabbage, LLC.